Hey, it's Alan from yourweddinghub.com. Remember, it's yourweddinghub.com, not myweddinghub.com. We're here to help you plan your wedding, and we want this to be the only site that you need to go to really get some of the best information that you need to plan an over-the-top wedding day. We are right now in the middle of a series on wedding rehearsal tips. Yesterday we talked about how to begin the rehearsal, and this is for you that are going to be kind of conducting your own rehearsal. Today I want to talk about the procession part, practicing walking in. There are a few different ways that a procession can take place. You will see it sometimes where the bride, where the group or the officiant, the minister, the best man, and the groom take their position, and the groomsmen actually escort the bridesmaids in. It's not really the traditional way of doing it, but it's not unusual, and there's nothing wrong with it. If that's the case, then here's the order that the procession should flow. You would have the groom's parents walk in first. They take their place. And then the mother of the bride is escorted in, and she takes her place. She could be escorted by a brother of the bride or her son. They could walk in together. She could be escorted by an usher. A lot of different ways of doing it. But traditionally, the parents of the groom, and then the mother of the bride, and then the wedding party began. So typical rule is this. Let's say you've got 5 attendants on each side, and they're standing best man, groomsman. The first one to walk in is the very furthest out groomsman, the one that's number 5 out to my left as an officiant. And the first bridesmaid, likewise, is the 5th one out, farthest away from the bride. If you're going to have them walk in together, then those would be the first 2 to walk in. They walk in and take their positions, and then the next ones. The reason that I said the groom and the best man would be standing here is the maid of honor should always walk in by herself. Now you may wonder, well, what's the deal with that? Like, why would you have the others be escorted in? I'll tell you this right now. This is just my own preference. I prefer to have all of the bridesmaids and the maid of honor walk in on their own. Here's what the symbolism of this is. The bridesmaids and the maid of honor have been there kind of fanning you brides and feeding you clusters of grapes and just taking care of you and making sure that you are ready for the big moment. If you walk in together with the best man, maid of honor, it's kind of like you two have been out hanging out and you should have been taking care of the bride. It really just sends a wrong picture. So that's why my personal preference is to have the groomsmen walk in with the groom and the minister. Then the bridesmaids begin to walk in. But, again, if you want the groomsmen to escort the bridesmaids, cool. But it would be those furthest out ones. But the maid of honor should always walk alone, so as a symbol that she's been there taking care of the bride and getting her ready for that big moment. Now, the only factor I haven't touched on is if you have children. Ring boy, a flower girl, a ring dog, any of the above. Generally, we sneak the kids in between, and when I say sneak them in, I mean we fit them into the procession in between the maid of honor and the bride and her escort, her father, or whoever's escorting her. The reason for that is that traditionally the flower girl, if she was going to be throwing out flower petals, would kind of throw those out, and the bride would be the only one that would walk on those. So she should come in last, and so the children would come after the maid of honor, and then the officiant says, "Ladies and gentlemen, please stand." That's how that procession should flow. So that's the next part you want to practice in your wedding rehearsal to make it flow smoothly. The walk is just a nice, slow, smooth walk. Don't do this step, pause, step. It's just a jerky looking walk, I got to tell you. The time I'm recording this, Prince William and Kate, I guess the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge now officially, just got married. And if you watched her and her dad walk down the aisle, it was just smooth as silk. And that's the way you want it to be, smooth and steady. So hopefully that gives you some tips on how to conduct your wedding rehearsal. If you need more information, post a question on our blog, on our site. That's what we're here for. And don't forget, Friday is the day for the wedding story of the week. Come on back and check with us in on yourweddinghub.com.